after 15 months and a lot of hand-wringing around, "We're working night and day, we're working tirelessly around the clock," that we heard from Joe Biden and then, of course, from Kamala Harris about a supposed ceasefire deal that was on the table, um, that it seems to have taken the incoming new inauguration of Donald Trump to actually get one done. Israel and Hamas are on the brink of a ceasefire. It is not a new proposal. It's something that's been on the table for a while that Netanyahu has walked back from at multiple stages. So it ain't over till the fat lady sings. And even when the fat lady sings, the apartheid is still ongoing in the West Bank. But for now, it seems like maybe Trump and his people, of whom are in the negotiations with Qatar, with Hamas, and with Israel, are closer to a ceasefire deal than Joe Biden was alone. The ceasefire deal would involve releasing 33 living hostages and it would be 42 days. That would be in exchange for the release of Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails. Look, again, this is not a done deal. Netanyahu, like he always does, could walk away from this, but this is from Shail Ben Ephraim. I can't vouch for this guy, but he apparently sort of does breakdowns around Israel, and he seems to think that this is kind of a L for Israel in general. He writes, Israel has capitulated on several factors, allowing for a deal to be reached. They've agreed to fully withdraw from Gaza, leaving no troops or security zone. That includes a full withdrawal from the Fidelfi corridor, which is the corridor right along the border of Gaza and Egypt, which honestly, for evacuation, for supplies, for all kinds of humanitarian reasons, is incredibly critical. It's agreed to allow Hamas to rule Gaza. That's not in the agreement, but there's also no mechanism to remove Hamas. Israel has agreed not to exile released prisoners, but rather let them into Gaza again. They've agreed to waive the demand list for a list of live hostages. I don't know if this is up to date, but it seems like they're going to get 33 live hostages. It is agreed to allow residents to return to the northern Gaza with only a symbolic security measures, and agreed to accept dead bodies in its first stage. All of these were red lines for Israel at one point. It's remarkable that all of them are being waived. The victory for Hamas is remarkable. The reason that happened is clear. Despite incredible victories on the battlefield, Israel has not offered a political program to replace Hamas or move to remove them from Gaza as a governing force. It has failed to translate IDF gains into political ones. That has, in essence, nullified all of its military achievements. I mean, we could break down what part of that analysis is correct or not for another time. But it also is not a political achievement when family members of the hostages inside Israel are, doing sit-ins and die-ins and blocking roads and rightfully so, wanting their government to come to the effing table so they can save the lives that are still there. Also, I mean, I would argue there is no real military victory in ethnic cleansing, and that actually has never been the point of this genocide. It's been genocide. It's been exactly that. It's been erasure. So, again, we'll see how this all plays out. But I think one thing, Ryan Grimm pointed out, said, look, let's talk about it. The U.S. called the shots, and Trump said he wanted it over by 120. Therefore, it must be over by 120. This has never been complicated. Biden was not weak. Biden supported the war. So that's really what I'm bitching about is, and I think it's complicated. I don't think it's just that, Trump was strong, Biden weak, although I think that's maybe 50% of it. Biden and Blinken were never willing to actually make any threats or temper aid or anything like that. And, Trump actually reads the room. That's the other thing he's done. He's read the room live in his campaign speeches, knowing that he's speaking to a MAGA audience that really doesn't care that they're sending a bunch of money to Israel, but he says it sort of loudly, like, I don't know, about Biden, in terms of he was addressing the anger out there. Yes, he called, Chuck Schumer a Palestinian and all of these, bigoted things or allegedly bigoted things, disrespectful things, right? As if Palestinian were a slur. But he also has seen that the Democratic Party is turned on Biden himself for being incredibly weak in the face of a country that should be like is basically a client proxy state and seems to be calling the shots. And so I'm surprised. I'm surprised to see Israel now coming to the table because I assumed that once Trump was in, it would be nothing but more genocide and more war. And so I feel like I was maybe wrong on that. However, there's another piece to this, which is the West Bank. And given that Trump has accepted money from Miriam Adelson, who's the widow of Sheldon Adelson, who's a billionaire Zionist, who gave money to both parties. I once saw him wheeling out of Dianne Feinstein's office, R.I.P. Wait, she did die. Did she die? Or is she just gone? Is she's gone, like gone? I forget because I don't care. But the point is like this is probably a bid to just, annex the West Bank. Like this is probably a bid, a promise from Trump and team that you can end the war now. Gaza's still an open air prison. You will still control the air, the sea, and the land in and out. You can still deny them supplies. There will still be a suffering. People will still die. But in exchange, we will turn a blind eye to all the settlements that you want to build in the West Bank. And if you want to annex the entire thing and make it the so-called Greater Israel, be our guest. But right now, we would like a little peace while Carrie Underwood plays at the inauguration. Thanks. So I said it the whole time, maybe privately, maybe I should have said it more publicly, but it's like at least Trump would be like, not make America seem so dickless, genocidal still, but maybe a little less dickless. And it just shows how committed Biden was to colonialism and the Zionist project. And again, I still think that Huckabee will be worse. Stefanik will be worse. All the people that Trump's appointing to oversee and deal with the region will be worse. But in this, getting a ceasefire, it seems like he might have actually made it happen because he actually might have tried. Anyway, tough pill to swallow. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.